Good morning, everyone. We started the chapter Media in India, where we talked about what media is actually. Media is the word comes from the word medium, okay? And it is a source through which you communicate, okay? Maybe through letters, posters, and the latest being the radio, television, internet, etc. Then we talked of how a public opinion is formed. It is the distribution of opinions and attitudes, which is in general held by the people. And once we are aware about it, the government works accordingly. So they also talked of the role of media and its importance, the various agencies of the mass media, where they talked of when it talks to the when a media is concerning a large audience, it is through newspapers and magazines that we do it. Then there are books and manuscripts for the olden times. Whatever record we get it from the books and manuscripts. Okay. Then we also talk about the various factors that the early beginning of the medias in India, like the television, radio, cinema, newspaper, magazines, and then latest being the internet-based websites. Then it is also told to us that in 1970, it was the first printing press which started. Then in 1927, the radio broadcasting was done. Then in Bombay, in July 1895, there were two movies, Auguste and Louis Lumiere, which were picturized and which were shown to the public. So radio and television started emerging as a source of mass media. Then they have told you about the period in between 1975 to 1977, when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India at that time, she declared emergency and the press was curbed. That means anything against the government could not be published. Okay. Then they also talked about in the fact files about the various newspapers which began and the year in which they began. Like Samachar Darpan was a Bengali newspaper which was published from the press called Serampore Mission Press in 1818, May 23rd, 1818. Then Ganga Kishore Bhattacharya started this publication, okay, in Bengali. Then it was Bengal Gazette, and it started in July 1st, 1822. Then Bombay Samachar, then Odant Martand in 1826. And since then, the prominent Indian languages in which newspapers have grown over the years are basically Hindi, Marathi, Malayalam, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Assamese, Urdu, and Bengali. Then they talk of various newspapers and magazines. Apart from this, they talk about the latest newspapers. The one in India, which is very prominent, is the Indian Express, the Times of India, the Hindustan Times, etc. Then they talk of the lighthouse of democracy by calling press as one. So they call the press the lighthouse of democracy. That means it shows direction to democracy. Every government which is formed, it is the media which keeps a check on it. Okay, then we now come on to the latest, which we are now going to cover, is the electronic media of mass communication. Now, electronic media came out to be very powerful media in the recent times, and it talks about the mass communication as well. So we'll read and I'll explain it to you. Radio, television, cinema, etc. are the electronic media of mass communication. Radio and television have an edge over newspapers as they reach even to the illiterates and help them to form their opinion. Moreover, radio and television reach the remotest villages and places of the country. People can listen to the news, speeches of the leaders, and political talks in every nook and corner of the country. Various problems and their solutions can be presented on radio and television through different programs. So now the newspaper was given way to the coming of the radios and television. Why? Because Even an illiterate person can go through the radio and listen to it, and so the television. Now, earlier only the literate, that means educated people could read the newspapers, but now it was not so. Even the illiterate could listen to the radio and be aware, listen to the television and be aware about the political life and the people doing what agenda the people were following at that time and even today. So, radio broadcasting was given the name All India Radio, and since 1957, it has been called Akashvani. Please underline the year 1957. All India Radio in Hindi is called Akashvani. Limited duration of television programming began in 1959, underline that, and complete broadcasting followed in 1965. That means just a few programs began in 1959, but proper management of it began in 1965. Then the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting owned and maintained the audiovisual apparatus, including the television channel Doordarshan. So the Doordarshan channel was maintained and operated by the government which was at that time. In our country, prior to the economic reforms in 1991, the Government of India played a significant role in using the audiovisual media for increasing mass education in India's rural swaths. Projected television screens provided engaging education in India's village by the 1990s. So there were through television, mass education was propagated. So educational programs were introduced on television so that the masses could get educated and it could reach to the far-fetched places in the villages. Then following the economic reforms, satellites, television channels from around the world, including BBC, CNN, CNBC, PTV, and other foreign television channels gained a foothold in the country. Please underline the names of the channels in India from abroad, which have also been incorporated in our channels, which have been also included for the viewers to watch. So these were the foreign channels which were introduced and were used so that the people are aware not just about the local news or the country's news, but also about the international news. So similarly, television broadcasting assumes tremendous importance in a developing country like India, which has low literacy rate, varied cultures in multiple languages. Doordarshan, the national television service of India, is one of the largest terrestrial networks in the world. So Doordarshan is still being shown to various parts of the world and is representing India's culture in abroad. So the television has been the best broadcasting agent now because the literacy rate is less in India. That means people are not so educated in India. And then this television helps them to gain knowledge, to know and become aware of the surroundings. With 1,400 television stations as of 2009, the country ranks fourth in the list of countries by number of television broadcast stations. So in 2009, there were 1,400 television stations, and which makes it a very prominent figure. The fourth in the list India is when it comes to the broadcasting of through various stations. Then India had a total of 3716000 telephone lines in use by 2009 in the fixed line arena. BSNL and MTNL are the incumbent in their respective areas of operation and continue to enjoy the dominant service provider status in the domain of fixed line services. You remember the fixed lines before the mobiles? There were lines laid down by BSNL and MTNL. These were the two companies which were putting up lines for various operations to continue the telephonic conversation. In the mobile telephony sector, Bharti Airtel controls 24.3% subscriber base, followed by Reliance Communication with 18.9%, then Vodafone with 18.8%, and BSNL with 12.7% subscriber base as of June 2009. India has a total of 917.33 million mobile phone connections by January 2012. Total fixed line and wireless subscribers reached 688 million as of August 2010. So here are the data which are telling you how the telephone has been another source of connecting people and making them aware. Though it is not a mass media communication, it is one-to-one, or now so you can also make a group call or a conversation where you can add 2 3 people, or maybe see right now we are using through internet, we are connected with so many people, we are having a proper class, the other devices may being Google Meet or Zoom. So these are the latest technologies which have overpowered and have got people connected to one another. Then cinema is very important means of recreation. It also helps in the formation of a sound public opinion. So cinema also plays a very important role. It brings to light many social problems, and their solutions are also sought of. Every film conveys a message, whether be it a love, or whether it be of brotherhood, whether it be of patriotism for your motherland. They have a message to convey to the people. Cinema as a medium has gained popularity in the country, and as many as 1,000 films in various languages of India are produced annually. So there are more than 1,000 movies produced annually for the benefit of the people to grow. Then we talk of the political parties. Political parties are the foundation stones of democracy. They provide a link between the government and the public. They explain the policies of the government to the people and educate people on the basis of their political and economic programs. Whatever they are undertaking is told to the people, is made aware. So these political parties, they also founded a proper means in which they can propagate. They use newspapers and public meetings to project their ideologies. Whatever they wish to convey to the people is basically told by the newspapers or through public meetings that are held by them. Uh, the people form their opinion by studying the programs of various political parties, their issues, their agendas are studied, and on the basis of that, the working is set up. Then mass media and public opinion. Now, the public responsibility and controlling power of the mass media are organized for the benefit of the citizens and by protecting universal rights both through the constitution and the regulations. That means anything and everything that is published is kept under the constitutional means, where the constitution is the law-making body and it prescribes the regulations and the proper formulas in which the direction is to be followed by the mass media. The right of the individual to obtain information is under constitutional guarantee. So, the constitution says that the people of the nation have the right to get the information. They can obtain information regarding any heading, regarding any topic. The related articles of the Constitution envisage the freedom and the privacy of the communication. Now, they also give privacy to the information that is to be told. Now, there are certain important emergency information which cannot be leaked for the welfare of the nation. So, those information have to be confined. Those information are not to be shared in general. Only a briefing is to be given, and that is what the constitutional rights and uh, various programmings are to be looked forward. Then Indian mass media. In a country like ours, mass communication plays a vital role in creating people's awareness about national policies and programs by providing information and education, besides healthy entertainment. So it is the duty of the country that the mass media should play a very important role. And in a country like India, people are to be aware about every policy that the government lays down. And so educational information is passed on, and healthy entertainment is also telecasted. So it helps the people to be active partners in the national building endeavor. Whatever activity for the benefit of the nation is to be done, so the people are also aware of it. Like recently, many new expressways are to be started. Now, those ways, these highways, people should be aware of it, where their tax money is going. So, for that, the media plays a very important role in making people aware. Now, the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting is responsible for development and regulation of information broadcasting and film sectors in the country. Now, there are various films, various broadcastings which are done and undertaken by the government, and it is under their direction. And the ministry which looks after it is called the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. So it is the one which gives sanction of the or the permission to start the movie or to start the information to be for the general public. Now, the broadcasting sector consists of Prasar Bharati. Please underline Prasar Bharati. That is the broadcasting ministry name, formed by an act of 1997. Please underline the year, by subsuming Doordarshan and of All India Radio under it. So it was the Prasar Bharati, which had also taken up the television broadcasting, Doordarshan, and the radio broadcasting, All India Radio, under it. So Prasar Bharati is the new integrated means joint venture of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which has now added these Doordarshan and All India Radio under it, and it is together known as Prasar Bharati. In addition, the broadcasting sector has about 100 private channels and cable network all over the country. The information sector includes the print media, which is regulated by Press Council of India, in addition to the following media units of government. So the press also is under check by the Press Council of India. That means there's a press council where the people regarding the information which is to be leaked through newspaper, they decide, and only what is allowed is broadcasted. So Press Information Bureau, Directorate of Advertising, and Visual Publicity, Publication Divisions, Directorate of Field Publicity, Song and Drama Division, Photo Division, and Research and Reference and Training Division. So these are the various units of the government which keeps awareness among the people, which are the various methods in which the people are aware of what the government is undertaking and what is happening all around the country. The information and broadcasting sector has been undergoing changes greatly due to technological development during the last nationwide transmission of its channel, and a huge network of more than 1,000 transmission centers transmit has been created all over the country. In the 90s, private channels and the cable network came to cover many parts of the country. Use of computers has been oh God, revolutionizing information collection and dissemination. So now they are telling you that information and broadcasting has developed ever since 90s, and it has covered nearly 1,000 private channels, which has revolutionized the working of the government and the country. People are more aware. There are private channels covering various states and small areas. Then convergence is yet another technological revolution profoundly influencing the media scenario. Convergence is coming about in various branches of entertainment like film, TV, and music industry. All of these use computers, CDs, audiovisual tapes. The same satellite and optic fiber is being used as infrastructure transmitting information, whether for telecommunication, computers, or for broadcasting. At the receiving end, the computers are being used as a tool not only for information processing but also for receiving information and broadcasting programs. The government has been trying to work out the details of coverage law, which will address the problems of development and regulations of the three related sectors, namely broadcasting, telecommunication, and information technology in a balanced manner. Now, this paragraph holds a lot of importance where they are telling you that the coverage, whatever is to be covered and told, is to be very nicely and authentically directed. The films, TVs, music, all have to undergo a basic fact that they should only show those things which are not objectionable. Now, supposing a film showing violence among two religions, will that be allowed as a movie? Should that be broadcasted? Where one religion is being brutal, being very, say, more like a terrorist towards other religion. Should this be shown to the people? What do you say? No, it should not be shown to the people. So this is the reason that it needs to be checked, and everything that is permissible should be broadcasted. So whatever is covered, whatever coverage is done should be authentic, should be within the limits of the constitution. So they also tell you that filmmaking is a non-government sector. The government's presence in this sector consists of Film Division, Directorate of Film Festivals, National Film Development Corporation, and Central Board of Film Certification, Film Archives of India, and Children's Film Society. Now, these are the names of the various film making processes and houses where the films are checked, and though it is of a private sector, the government has no basic presence in these, yet they have established a few divisions into which the criteria is checked, and if it is permissible, then the government has set up two film institutes, one at Pune and the other at Kolkata. There also there are various processes, and the government undertaking has been put forward. More than 100 FM radio stations have been approved, which are being operated by private parties. The government has liberalized uplinking policy for TV channels in the country. The Cable Network Act has been amended with the objectives of preventing the cable networks from showing pirated movies, prohibiting advertisements for liquor, tobacco, and infant milk substitutes, and for ensuring that the cable network show at least three Doordarshan channels. The government has allowed direct to home, that means DTH operation in the country with certain conditions. Detailed guidelines in this regard have been issued on 15th March 2001, which are available at the ministry's website www.nib.nic.in. Now, in 2000 March 15th March 2001, the government has laid down various uh, channels also. There are many, many channels for TV as well as for radio, which work freely, and the government has allowed the direct to home operations where the different part of the country can show the programs, but they have made it commercial free. So once they do this, can you hear me? Once they do this, can you hear me? Can you hear me, children? Once they do this, the TV channels,
Yes, ma'am.
various, thank you, various newspapers and various radio channels and various uh, TV channels have really broadened the scenario of present day times. And for any information, one can always visit the ministry's website. Please underline the ministry's website www.mib.nic.in. So this we stop here for today, and I expect each one of you to go through it It's a pretty long chapter, and though it's very easy, it has got, you know, the basic information of day-to-day life, what we do as a means of for our communication. So all are expected to read this chapter till where I've taught. Thank you.